Created by ContentBinger.com. Criminal Law Glossary. Letters L, M, and N.
L. Larceny is the crime of taking the goods of another person without permission, usually secretly, with the intent of keeping them. It is one form of theft. Some states differentiate between grand larceny and petty larceny based on the value of the stolen goods. Grand larceny is a felony with a prison sentence as a punishment, and petty larceny is usually limited to county jail time. Legal defense is a legally recognized excuse for a defendant's actions, such as implied consent, privilege, and self-defense, which may remove liability for certain offenses. Legislation is laws or statutes that have been enacted by a legislative body. Liability is a legal responsibility for one's acts or omissions. Lockup is a secured or locked place where the inmates are not free to leave. Loitering is lingering in a public place with the intent to commit an illegal act. M. Magistrate is a judicial officer with strictly limited jurisdiction and authority, often on the local level and often restricted to criminal cases. Malice is ill will, intent to harm. Malicious mischief similar to vandalism, but a more broad definition. Malum in se is Latin for evil in itself, and refers to a crime or an act that is inherently immoral, such as murder, arson, rape, and other crimes against a person. Malum prohibitum is Latin for prohibited evil, and is an act that is a crime merely because it is prohibited by statute, although the act itself is not necessarily immoral. For example, misdemeanors such as jaywalking and running a stoplight are malum prohibitum, as are many regulatory violations. Mandatory sentencing laws that require courts to sentence convicted criminals to certain prison terms. Manslaughter is the killing of a person without malice or premeditation, but during the commission of an unlawful act, or a lawful act done in an unlawful manner. Mediation is a form of alternative dispute resolution in which the parties choose a neutral third party who helps the parties reach their own decisions to resolve the dispute. Medical malpractice is a medical professional's improper or immoral conduct in performance of his or her duties. Mens rea is Latin for a guilty mind, and is the criminal intent element in committing the act. Minor is a person under the age of majority, under the age of 18 in most states. Miranda warning refers to rights that a person must be told prior to questioning when arrested or taken into custody by police or other officials. These include the right to remain silent, to contact a lawyer, and to have a free lawyer if the person arrested cannot afford one. Misdemeanor is a criminal offense, less serious than a felony, punishable by a jail sentence of 1 year or less. Misdemeanor trial, the trial in a misdemeanor case. Mistake of fact is a mistake about a fact that is material to a transaction. Also termed error in fact. Mistake of law is a mistake about the legal effect of a known fact or situation. Also termed error in law. Mistrial occurs when a trial must be stopped for any reason at some time after starting, or, as by a hung jury, when jurors cannot unanimously agree on a verdict. The case may then be retried at the discretion of the prosecutor. Mitigating factors are factors that may lessen the seriousness of an offense. The presence of these factors may be considered by the judge at sentencing. Modus operandi is the way or pattern in which a criminal commits his/her crime, MO. Moral turpitude is dishonesty or vileness of a high degree. Motion is the formal request, by either prosecution or defense, or a judge to hear and decide a disputed issue. Motions to suppress are motions made to the court by the defense counsel to suppress the introduction at trial of incriminating evidence, because of the allegedly illegal manner in which it was acquired. Pre-trial motions are often made to suppress evidence obtained by police conduct in violation of the Fourth and Fifth Amendments. Motive is the reason a person commits a crime. Murder is the unlawful killing of a person with malice aforethought. N. Neglected child is a child that is neglected when his or her parent or custodian fails to provide necessary physical, emotional, medical, or institutional care. Negligence is a failure to exercise the care that a reasonable person would exercise in the same circumstances. Nolo, short for nolo contendere, an alternate plea with nearly the same legal consequences of a guilty plea. Nolo contendere is a plea of no contest, whereby the defendant indirectly admits guilt but is protected from having the admission of guilt used in a civil court in the event the defendant is sued by the victim. No contest is the same as nolo contendere above. A criminal defendant's plea that, while not admitting guilt, the defendant will not dispute the charge.
Thanks for watching. For more content, check out contentbinger.com.